Hi everyone. So I want to talk about a topic today that certainly takes me out of my comfort zone, and it has to do with giving and receiving. Really easy for me to give, to help, to do, and really difficult for me to accept and receive. And even sometimes small things. And I really wanted to look at that, so I have been working with that and kind of asking Spirit for some clarity on that. And I want to tell you about some of the things that came through, because there is sort of just a general superficial feeling that people have that it has to do with not feeling worthy enough, and I really don't think that's quite it. I think it goes further than that, because I do think I'm worthy for things because I can get things for myself. It's receiving them from others that is my difficulty. And I have a feeling I'm not alone in this, so if you can relate, I hope you'll join me in this little video. So one of the things, that came through with Spirit was, to really just look at the feelings. So when I'm doing and giving, I guess, in a way, I feel vibrant and useful. And maybe in some small way we could say in control of the situation or powerful in some way. I don't really, and to use that word loosely, powerful, because that's really a little stronger than I would normally want to say. And then the act of receiving, that feeling, that brings up maybe some fear. I feel not in control. I feel maybe that I don't want to seem needy, and sort of like small and vulnerable in a way. Okay, I would say those are some of the words. Now it's going to be a little different for each of us, but I'm just telling you, really when I was looking at this, these are some of the feelings. So, that idea of not wanting to be needy. And it's so interesting because as I was walking through this meditation, that came up, that idea of wanting to help and not want to be needy, but then that creates such an imbalance that neediness can come through in another way because it is not really being sufficiently worked through in this first way. So, then that neediness can come through in a way of feeling insecure, like, like wanting to be liked and wanting to help. Now, the more you want to be liked and want to be helped, then you're even toppling over further on that imbalance of giving and doing. So it's kind of, creating a difficult cycle. And so, obviously the most important thing is to start to fix that imbalance. Now, I've talked many times before about that balance, as we see in the tarot, really does show a balance between, the sides that we have, our receiving side and our giving side, our right and our left side, to really start to be conscious of that and give and receiving, because when that becomes balanced, not that it's so easy, but when we make an effort to balance that, then I think other things will really fall into line, and there will be more of a confidence and not that feeling of being small and accepting and being needy. Or just, like I said, it's going to be a little different for all of us. I have some notes here, so that's why I'm looking down a little bit. Another thing that did come through was, sometimes we just, know it or not, we have old beliefs sort of attached to us, and it could be from this life, could be from past life, I don't know. But one of the things that did show up in my meditation is that for some of us, there could be an old belief that to receive or to accept is sort of like ungodly, and like maybe having to do with materialism, like there's some old archaic belief that would be bad, to be having, accepting something that's material, it's not spiritual. And, now of course that is not something I believe in this life. But sometimes these things just attach onto us, and it's really up for us, I think, to start to really see. This idea is just to give clarity, to start seeing what's really going on, so then we can change some of these old things. Now, when I was doing this meditation, I did ask for an image to come through. And I got a really nice image, and I want to tell you that it was, I saw a daisy outside in my image, in my mind, I mean. It was a daisy, and it did not have any petals, and it didn't look too good, really. And it was just trying so hard to produce some petals, and every time it tried, it would falter, and it would try, and it would just droop, just falter. And then I noticed just a few feet away there was another daisy that was so beautiful and full and blossomed and strong and kind of like looking up, shining towards the sun. So I had the opportunity to sort of, in my mind's eye, look at the roots and really see what was going on in each of these two daisies. And the daisy that was thriving so beautifully was able to accept and received nourishment from the earth and information from the earth, and it was able to accept and receive that, the sunshine and all of what it needed from the various elements, the rain and, like I said, the sun. It received all that it needed and information as well, and in receiving, then it was able to blossom and to give back, its beauty and its healing nature. Daisies can be very healing. There's actually a remedy that can be made from daisies called Bellis perennis, and it is a very healing remedy. But that is definitely beside the point. So when we can see, in such a beautiful, innocent picture, we can see the difference between those daisies. Then we can really relate that to ourselves and see the importance of really being able to say yes and receive and accept. It's not easy. It really is not, if you're like me. But I think it's important because what I can see is through my life, my relationships have had this element, this imbalanced element, where I'm always doing and giving, and when it comes time for me to receive, oh no, that's okay, and then a real that dynamic, that unhealthy dynamic, starts to set and then grow, and it really is not good. And that is definitely something I am in the process of changing. I've been working hard on this for years, but now I'm really boiling it down to this topic. So, as usual, after my meditation, I did a short reading, and I want to take a look at that with you. I used the very beautiful Golden Tarot, which I talked about recently. So the cards, the first card did surprise me. So the first card that came up is the Star. So, when this is a very positive card, and it is showing that, we can fulfill our wishes, or those challenges that we're looking at can be overcome and definitely be, taken care of, or like I said, fulfilled. But also it does have such a healing quality, like a purification and really cleansing and really looking at, what needs to be, cleansed. So really does carry, a lot of help here in this card. But let's look closer here, because the first thing you'll see is that she has no clothes on, which is common in the Star card. But when we relate it to this topic, that's kind of feeling small or feeling vulnerable. I mean, this is a very vulnerable situation. She's out here, outside in the elements, completely naked. And I think for a lot of us, that would feel kind of vulnerable. But she's handling it quite well. She is communing perfectly with nature and with the elements. There's all kinds of little critters around her. There are dogs here. There's another dog here. I think there's a turtle there. There's some sea life and a little mermaid here swimming. All kinds of things that she's dealing with, working with very happily and very seamlessly. And she has pictures, one in each hand. And we can really think about that two sides of us, that right side, the giving side, and the left side, the receiving side, and the way she's really working with both. And that is what, I feel like I'm being asked to do here, to really understand that and to really balance that out. So the next card that came up, which is the Justice card, which has a lot to do with balance. And this Justice card, when you look at it, there's kind of a lot going on, and it looks like it takes some work to get to a perfect balance. You can see the way the angel is standing, really trying to make do and make things balance out. So I do like that. So when we start to balance, or at least acknowledge and make some conscious effort to make that balance, then the card that came up for the last card is the Page of Wands. Now, there's a real contrast, right, from that first card. Here we're naked. Here we're clothed and we're comfortable. And I like that, even though he's clothed and ready to take this journey, he's holding his hat, so his head is still, receiving all of the elements, the air, the sun, and everything around him. He can hear the sights and sounds. He is still open, even though clothed for this journey. Now behind him, if you can see, there is a small fire going. So that kind of shows to me that that his passions are supporting his journey. And I do like also that he's just kind of starting on this path here, and then he comes up and sees these little bunnies. And I thought, those little bunnies in this case can represent us taking small steps. So at first it's just the little bunnies, and then later on maybe it'll be bigger and bigger things that we can start to learn to accept and receive. So what happened with me the other day, when I was working, I had left something in my car that I needed, and I wasn't able to go out to my car and get it. Now, I know this is going to sound like a small thing. This is my bunny story, okay? It's a small thing. So I knew it was going to be a while before I would be able to go out to my car to get the thing I needed, right? My bag, a small bag that was in there. And I stopped and I thought about it. And I thought, well, am I able to ask somebody to go out to my car and do this? Now, normally, it would be no. I would just wait and wait till I was done my set and then go out. But the truth is, I really wanted something in that bag for the set that I was doing, right? So I kind of got up my courage, and I said to a friend of mine who was there, I said, can you please, I gave her my car key, I said, can you please go in the back and ask the guy in the back if he can go out to my car and get this little bag. And she was so happy to do it. Now, she's nothing like me. She has no problem accepting things, And I could see that her expression, she was a little surprised that I asked her a favor, and she was so happy to do it. So next thing you know, she went in the back and asked the guy to go out for me to the car. And he came back with my bag, and he was smiling. He was so happy to do it. And we had a nice little exchange, and I gave him a little kiss, And I really got something out of that, because that nice exchange that we had was something I would have missed out on if I was just stoic, like normal, and waited and did it myself. So it's a little thing, but it kind of made a big deal for me. So like I said, that was my little bunny on the road, my first one there. So, I'm going to just try to continue to say yes when I can, and to make the effort to be a little more open, a little more welcome to receive things, and start to balance out that uber giver, right? So if you have any experiences or if you relate to this, I'd really like to hear it. And I want to say that, I really feel that the people that communicate with me here on YouTube are just some of the kindest and most thoughtful and most intelligent people that I could have imagined, working with. And I really appreciate that. So I thank you all. So let me know what you think about this topic. See you soon, everyone. Bye.